Hey everybody, welcome to Afrologik vlog number 5. I'm hyped, yes, I'm still at it. Being consistent, I'm growing up a little bit. I don't ever really want to truly grow up because, there's so-called responsible people. I feel like, they don't really get out there and do stupid shit and have fun, because they're too busy being the ones that's watching everybody else have fun. And I'm so glad that I've never been that. I've always been the wild card. A friend of mine called me that recently. I've always been the wild card, the one that might do anything. That's me. I'll try anything. But I do understand the need to be, to land sometime because, being a wild card can get you locked up or dead if you're not careful. But lucky for me, I just enjoy having fun. I just do. Loving life, trying different things, and I feel sorry for people who who don't take chances and do wild stuff. Sometimes step outside of themselves and just break out and just and be free and just do crazy stuff, do things that you ordinarily wouldn't do. I think that's cool, and I'm saying all that to say that this consistency thing is just so new to me. I'm just never really been so committed to anything, and I'm just really committed to Afrologik. Just so committed to it. And so that's that. That's my opening statement. I'm Brandy Badass, by the way. Um, so this episode is going to be called Butterfly Thoughts and Potpourri. Why? Because butterflies just, they flutter. They flutter around. They don't really go in any direction. They just, they float around and enjoy life and be beautiful. That's what they do. And then potpourri, of course, is a mixture of things. So the reason why I've titled this vlog Butterfly Thoughts and Potpourri because I really don't have a subject. I'm just kind of out here fluttering around in no direction really, and mixing it up a little bit, So, because I don't have a subject. So where can I go with this? How about, okay, I woke up this morning really happy, right? Which happens a whole lot now. And I'm so grateful for that because that wasn't always true. I've had many and many a days when I have awakened mad at the universe for allowing me to wake up. So for me to wake up happy for several weeks, actually, every day is amazing. So I'm so cool with that. So I woke up this morning really happy as I usually am. Afrologic's on my mind, which no matter what I'm doing, no matter what I'm talking about, I'm thinking about Afrologic. It's somewhere in there. So I woke up thinking about Afrologic and how grateful I am that it's starting to pick up. Thank you to you all that it's starting to pick up, and people are starting to notice, and I have people who read Afrologic from 29 different countries, which I think is so dope that so many people out there are interested in things that I have to say, and they come back. So I love that. I mean, that's like a very high compliment to me because people that I know have been knowing my whole life, and I know that they don't read my blog. But it's okay, no love lost. Just, I would like to say don't get in the situation where you need my support, but the person I am, I would support them anyway. It's not a tit for tat thing. Anyway, thinking about Afrologic and being proud of, its progress thus far. And I was talking to the editor, the guy who edits my blogs, in which, by the way, he edits my blog, and then I go back and, I fix everything as after he edits it. So every now and then I miss something. So should you ever see anything in there that's, that ain't right, it's not him, it's me. I'm kind of meticulous about things too, but I'm not as versed with editing as he is, and that's why Dave Peters is my editor. Yeah, I shouted you out, Dave. So I'm all excited about that and everything. But then I thought about how everything's picking up, but I work, my schedule's been crazy. It's been all over the place. My work schedule, that is. It's been all over the place. And And I haven't really been giving Afrologic the attention that it needs to get, because I have to squeeze it in. I have to write when I have time now, whereas before, when I first started Afrologic, I wrote every day because my schedule was stable. So I wrote every single day. But now I still write every day, but minutes at a time, because I have to squeeze it in between other things, between work basically. And so I had stopped doing a lot of the other things that I was doing, which I was guest writing for other blogs, and I was sitting in on reading other blogs and sitting in on different live YouTube broadcasts from other YouTube bloggers, and just kind of so people would know who I am. And because of my work schedule, I stopped doing that so much, and that's when I started to feel like, dang, I'm so off course, and that don't feel so good. So I have an alter ego, and her name is Nikki. And Nikki, a brief summary, you don't really want to fool with Nikki, because she don't think things through. She only knows how to react. That's all she know how to do. And if you mess with Nikki, Nikki will mess your life up. Nikki has messed up lives. So I try to keep Nikki like in wraps most of the time. Well, I was trying to, because Nikki got a square in one hand and a beer in the other hand, and she out here looking for somebody life to mess up. So in my new calmness, I had to chill Nikki out, because she was like a threat to things remaining as they are, and I'm loving it. So I'm like, I can't kill her, because I still need her, but because Brandy's all happy and smiles and cracking jokes and stuff, but Nikki is more firm, and she will get to the point, and she don't care what you think, and she's just very, very frank, very, very curt. So I had a conversation with Nikki. Really, she had a conversation with me, because she just popped out of nowhere, and she's like, so I don't understand why you saying that you not doing everything that you was doing before, because you don't have time. Whatever your work schedule is, it's still the same 24 hours in the day. You don't sleep at night. You always awake. You could be working on Afrologic then. You could do that from bed. It's not like you got to get up and go. And she just was like kind of checking me, like, if you ain't guest writing no more, and you're not putting yourself out there and making yourself more known, that ain't nobody fault but yours. It ain't got nothing to do with the job. Get your ass up and do what you was doing before. Same 24 hours in a day, no matter how they chop it up, a day is still 24 hours. So I'm listening to her, and I'm like, because she kind of scares me a little bit. So I'm listening to her, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. I could do more. I could spend my time more wisely, but I'm like telling her that just the fact that I still write in between when I have things to do means that I'm still committed. And she was like, man, damn all that. Okay, you write every day. Okay, cool. You write every day. You could do more. It's the same 24 hours in a day. So I really thought about it, like, man, you know what? I have kind of become complacent, and I have kind of become more excited about the progress that I've made, and not so excited about the progress that I'm making. Well, not excited enough, because I need to go out there and do it. So I spent today looking things up and, trying to keep myself active and eager. I have to get myself back to that. And it's not going to take long. Matter of fact, I'm sure I'm there already, because it wasn't like I took a long break from doing things in the same sequence as I was doing them before. It's just that now, with my schedule being all over the place, I just have to fit this in where I have time, fit this in. But Nikki was right. It's the same 24 hours in a day. So I can make time to go back to my normal schedule. I can make time to guest write like I was doing before, because I was getting a lot of results. And part of the reason why things have gotten to the point where they are is because I was doing that. So if I keep doing it, it just gets better and better. So I got to get back to that. So I guess the message to everybody in that is don't make excuses. Just because you done made a little bit of progress or because things seem to be going your way, it's always another door to go through. So don't ever stop looking for doors to go through, because as long as you're alive, you can progress. Don't become complacent and be like, okay, I got people reading my blog from 29 different countries. I can chill and just kind of coast for. No, you can't coast. You can't coast. If you're going to coast, do that while you're taking a vacation or whatever. And even while you're taking a vacation, mind on your business now and then, because, or look for things. We're out there looking at things, get ideas, form ideas, and then assert that to what you're trying to do, because it's so easy. That's the reason why I don't stop my blog schedule, because I know how easy it is to get to a place where you're like, I can take a day off, and then next thing you know, I'm taking 2 days off. Next thing you know, 3 days, then a week, and then you just quit. I know this from experience because I am a habitual quitter. I think I've told you that before. I am a habitual quitter. It don't take nothing for me to decide to quit anything. I can quit something like that. I ain't even got to think about it. So I had to get myself back on that plane. So that's my message to you. Don't stop just because it's nice. You keep going. Just keep going, and that's it. Another thing I can talk about, a friend of mine from junior high school, this girl I know, I was chatting with her on Facebook, and she was telling me that she was thinking about doing a blog, and asked me what encouraged me to do Afrologik. So that's a cool thing to talk about, actually, because a friend of mine kind of a friend of mine encouraged me to do Afrologik. I had wrote this long, beautiful post on my birthday, and he had been telling me all along that, you should be writing, he had been saying that to me. And, me being the true self that I was then, I'll get to it, and then when I wrote that post on Facebook, this big, long, beautiful post, thanking, you know how we do, thanking everybody for the birthday love and all of that. And, he had commented on it and was like, somebody can write their ass off, but she don't listen. So that's how I got into the groove of writing, because it was like, man, he keeps saying this. Let me get back at it, because I've had other blogs before. Had several, actually, but, like I said, I quit things. So I had several blogs before, and then, sometime, I don't know, maybe a few weeks after my birthday, I was cleaning out a closet, and I was going through this storage tote that had like books and things in it, and I ran across all these notebooks, and it was like written from the first page to everything on it. Every page had writing on it. So I'm thumbing through it, and I'm like, wow, this is like gold. This is dope. How come I never used any of this? So that encouraged me to start writing. That's what encouraged me to those two things. Him being the encouragement that I needed, and my daughter also, of course, she's amazingly encouraging to me. And between all of that and then running across those notebooks, that's what got me to start doing Afrologik. So, all right, I'm ready to write now. I need a theme. So what am I going to write about? Because all of my other blogs, they usually was about music, because I love music, and I fancy myself a musicologist, because I know a lot of, I don't have musical talent, but I know a lot about music. So, I don't really want to write about music again, because, it's just, I don't want to. If I get to that, then fine, but I really don't want that to be the platform. So, I started thinking about things that I'm passionate about, one being mental health, because that's something that I have personal experience with. And the other one being it would be great to get people to just break free. Like I said, beginning, wow, I did say that at the beginning of this blog, and I wasn't even planning. But anyway, it'd be cool to get people to just break out of their shells, so to speak, and get them to just dig deep down and find that person that they really are, that person that they're kind of maybe scared to be because they're scared that it won't be received well or whatever. You know, a whole bunch of stuff that don't even matter. Like, it would be cool to be an example. Look at me, pat myself on the back again. It would be cool to be an example and share with people that you don't have to do that. You don't really have to be chained to societal norms, traditional norms, or even familial norms. You just go out there and be you, you know, and you'll find your audience, your audience, your peer group, whatever, you'll find it. But when I think about it in terms of me, because I've done both, I've been that one that kind of bound by the chains of the things I know or things that I've been taught, and I know what that feels like. You know, you think you feel real good because you're kind of coasting along. You're coasting along. You don't stand out. You're just doing what you were supposed to do. You're acting the way you're supposed to act, but that's not very much fun. You know, so I thought, what if I can get people to, you know, to just take a chance? Maybe I can say something to get people to go, you know what, I ain't never did blah 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 before, I'm gonna try blah blah blah. You know, or deep down inside, I don't like being this, I don't like being the chaperone every time I'm in a group of people. Sometimes I want to wild out and just get people to do that. So those are the things, those are the reasons that I do Afrologic. Well, that's first one, that's the reason why I started Afrologic. And, you know, the encouragement and everything, that's why I started Afrologic, because I really needed something to do. I don't care for where I live. I don't know anybody here. I don't really have any friends here. I don't have any family here. It's just me and my sons are older, and they're never here, so I'm always here, and just lonely, you know. So I really needed something to do, and now I have something to do. And not only is it something I have that, not only do I have that to do, but I'm like planning a whole new life, because I got to get out of here. I mean, I told you in the other vlog, I'm trying to get to LA. That's where my destiny is. So I'm building, and I'm never bored. I'm never bored. I always have something to do. I mean, I always do. I work in customer service. I work from home. And so when it's slow, I just open up another tab and start typing in, how do you do this? How do I get this? Okay, when I get over to California, I'm gonna need a place to stay. What's going on with, where can I find an apartment? When I go back there this summer to visit, I can go and look at some of those places and, you know, maybe even go ahead and get one, you know. So how I'm looking at all these kinds of things, and so I'm never bored, you know. Too busy doing Afrologic, which is an extension of me. Too busy planning for my future, because that's all of me. And I know I'm always telling people to stay in the moment, but in that moment, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Because staying in that and doing what I'm supposed to do in that moment mean that every moment will count as something I'm doing toward that goal. When I get to the moment of getting there, I'll be straight. So that's the, I guess, gist of how that started. I guess that's the gist of it. So that's the answer that I gave her, but of course it was a lot shorter. It was more like, excuse me, it was more like, well, somebody encouraged me to write again, and then I just came up with a theme, and then bam. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, because she wants to start a blog, and maybe I should have went into, well, after that encouragement, I started doing research on, you know, setting up a website. I had to research the name and make sure that nobody else had it. I had to go buy a domain. I probably should have went through all of that and even tell her that I'm encouraged when music is playing. I should have said all of that, but I didn't. But I'll talk to her again. If she truly wants to blog, she'll contact me again. Not because I'm an expert, because I'm not. I am not an expert, but I'm having so much fun being a novice. So, so when I get to expert level, man, man, watch out now, because it's going to be so dope. I got so much stuff inside of me that's going to come out. Man, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So, how much time? I've been talking for 20 minutes. It don't feel like it when you're doing it. It don't feel like 20 minutes. It really don't. It go by so fast. It's like being on break at work. No matter how long the break is, it feel like it was only 5 minutes. Man, that's the other thing. I woke up this morning thinking about, like, this whole working 9 to 5 thing. Yet I can't. I'm not doing this for the rest of my life. And that's another thing I've been looking at. How can I start an e-commerce store? If I open an e-commerce store, what will I sell? I know too many people who don't go to work 9 to 5 and they doing all right, and it's not because they fell into an empty pool of money, but because they just took advantage of the technology. And so now they work probably harder than anybody that does do a 9 to 5, but they control their schedule. They schedule not controlled by some people that could care less, would replace them tomorrow, because they are working for themselves, so they're not going to replace themselves. So I was thinking about that, and so many people do that, and I want to do that. I don't really want. I can't imagine. And the place where I work right now, I'm not going to retire from there. I know this because I'm mess around and get fired. Because I ain't cut out for customer service. I love helping people, but not on a retail sense, because people have entitlement issues, and I don't do entitlement issues. So I've been thinking about that a lot. I'm like, man, I gotta do something different. I gotta find something else, and it cannot be where I work for somebody else. I'm ready to try something different. So yes, another message I can get to y'all out there. Not that I can tell you from experience, because I'm doing it, but we got so much technology out there. You can do whatever you want to do. You walk around with hundreds or thousands of dollars worth of media equipment. You got phones, you got iPad, you got the watches. They even got smart glasses. There's so much information out there. If you don't want to work 9 to 5, you really don't have to. You just gotta dig in there and go, what can I do? What do I like to do? What kind of service can I give? What can I do that's gonna free me of this slave situation? Because it's a slave situation. What can I do to free myself from this slave situation and do something that I enjoy doing, that I don't mind doing all day? That you could wake me up at 5 o'clock in the morning and say, get at it. Wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning and say, get at it. And I won't be all like, man, it's some bullshit, man. You interrupting my dream. What can I do? What's out there for me to do that? It's there. It is in whatever you got in your hand right now. The answer is in there. Don't just use that shit for Facebook and Instagram and Reddit and Twitter. Don't just use it for that. That's not what it's there for. That's what they done brainwashed everybody into using it for, because one of the first things that everybody do, myself included, is check and see what's going on IG. Check and see what's going on Facebook. It's artificial communication. Use those devices to find something for you. Take an online class. For me, it's just digging through piles and piles of stuff, trying to find what I want to do, how I can do it, reach out to people that's already doing it. It'll never be a dull moment in your life if you start doing that, I tell you. And that I can tell you from experience. Just do it like Nike. Just do it. Just take a chance. Run through the fields naked. But, just do it. Find it. Unless you like. Some people like, having a schedule and a dependable job, and anybody, you want to have your finances stable, where you know that you have money coming in. Man, I get that, but I mean, you give it 8 hours a day, and once you get out of that, you probably spend about 2, 3, maybe 4 hours doing your regular stuff. But then you gotta cook, and if you got kids, you gotta take care of kids. You gotta take care of house, and then you're tired. Then you go to sleep, and you wake back up, and do the same shit again. If you okay with that, and some people are, I'm not knocking it. For everybody, I'm knocking it for me, because this ain't gonna get it. I had to do something else. And then my job is repetitive too, so it really mentally drained me, because my whole work day consists of me repeating the same sentences and paragraphs over and over and over for 8 hours. A whole 8. And it's boring. And creative people can't really live in that kind of atmosphere, because it's boring. And growing from it. And the calls only could be so many minutes long. But I've met some interesting people, and when I do, I don't care about that clock, because it's like, I need this respite. I need to talk to this person that's so funny, that's so interesting, that's so think I'm interesting, think I'm so funny. I'm gonna give this another 3-5 minutes. I don't care. Yeah, it's gonna make my numbers look bad, but I'm the black sheep of the team anyway. They know I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. I'm one of them. I'm a terrible employee. That's another reason why I gotta find something for me. I'm a terrible employee. I'm that employee that they'll say, we just implemented a new system, and so now we're gonna do things like this. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that, because that's some stupid shit. That's Brandy badass, and a little bit of Nikki too, because I'm only here because you pay me to be here, and my tolerance level for it gets smaller and smaller each day. Good news is, before, my tolerance level was getting smaller and smaller for it each day, but I was dying inside. It was like, I love plants, but it's like, if I took one of my plants and I put it in a basement, and then I never watered it, and it never got no sun, and it would eventually die. That's how I felt before. But now, since I have things that I do in my life, and and things are better, now I'm just really, I don't like the word content, but I'll say this, for the place that I'm in now, I don't get so upset about it no more. Like now, when things at work are not interesting enough for me, I just be like, you know what, I gotta put in 8 hours, and I can do whatever the hell I want to do. But no, even with that being said, the clock is ticking. So that's that. Chapstick. So anyway, that's Butterfly Thoughts and Potpourri. I've been all over the place with y'all today, and if you've been listening for 28 minutes, God bless you. God bless you. Usually, people never get to know me. They only get to know this. They only want to get to know me because of this, and that hurts my feelings, because I feel like I have something to say, and I feel like I'm an interesting person, and when I meet somebody, I really want to know more about them. And I'm one of them creepy people who, when you talk to me, my eyes will be glued in your eyes, which is a turn off to a lot of people, because they think, like, I've had people tell me mid-sentence, what are you looking at? Like, I'm looking dead in your eyes. I should. I want you to know that you have my undivided attention when you talk. Hey, I said all of that. Oh, that's where I was going with this. But because I'm not talking about anything today, if you're just looking at the hair, I'm okay with that. You can just look at the hair. It's okay today. Anyway, that's Butterfly Thoughts and Potpourri, and that is my story for today. Stories. Rambling, perhaps. That's what I got for today. Thank you for paying attention. I am Afrologic, right there in the box. Afrologic. Check it out. Afrologic.com is right down there. Afrologic emails right down there if you need to get at me, or if you want to get at me for whatever reason. Just like I said, keep it clean, because I'm not dealing with that nonsense. So you want to keep it clean. Excuse me. You can hit me up there. Definitely check out my blog, which is on the link there. It'll also be in the description. So that's me story. That's me story, and I'm sticking to it. Y'all have a good night, and that's that. Bye. Deuces.